gotta ask you a question. The hat, it's one thing to wear the hat backwards. Do you have an afro under that or something? It looks very, very high.
I'll tell you what. Hey, that's none of your damn business, okay? Whatever's going on up under my hat is none of your business. The only information that you need to know is that I don't have a mushroom on the top of my head like you. That's right, Stephen A. I have a cut from this year.
One joke. Just one joke. That was all it took to turn what should have been a celebration of Kevin Hart's career into one of Netflix's most controversial comedy events of the year.
Chris Rock, and they both couldn't do it. Then I had a great idea. Let's call Kevin Hart and see if he has Dave Chappelle's number. He didn't have it. He didn't have it. Stuff on the big screen. For him, that's an iPad mini. Sorry. I love Kevin Hart's career plan. Do everything Martin Lawrence did, only shittier.
Fans were furious. Fellow comedians were divided. George Floyd's family spoke out. And when Kevin Hart finally responded, many people believed he made the situation even worse.
You know, Kevin, they told me not to mention your kids on this roast, but I must say, you did good. They've gotten so big, they now buckle Kevin up in the car seat.
So what exactly happened during Netflix's roast of Kevin Hart? Which jokes crossed the line? Why did the backlash explode across social media? And why did Kevin's defense of the comedians spark an entirely new controversy?
Don't throw f***ing eggs. Snoop, when the last time you threw eggs in somebody's goddamn house? We don't do that. It's not gangster.
Let's break down the full story. On paper, Netflix's roast of Kevin Hart looked like a guaranteed success. Kevin Hart is one of the biggest comedians in the world.
Right? When they separated, Kanye moved into Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is actually Kanye's room. Let's take a look.
The roast featured major names from comedy, and after the massive success of Netflix's roast of Tom Brady, expectations were sky high. The event aired live as part of Netflix is a Joke Festival and was designed to celebrate Hart's career through the traditional roast format where comedians insult, embarrass, and mock the guest of honor.
I'm sorry, because it was a thought. No, seriously, it was a thought. It was a thought, and I blurted it out. I did not mean it that way.
I'm fine.
Okay, but just understand, I didn't mean it the way it came out.
We'll take a poll on how you meant it with people here later after the show's over, but...
I can sit up here and honestly say, buddy, that was from a place of love.
Got it.
Like, damn.
That was from...
Nothing is supposed to be off limits. Or at least, that's the idea. But almost immediately after the special aired, viewers began arguing that this roast wasn't just edgy. It was different. Many felt the jokes crossed into territory that wasn't funny anymore. The biggest controversy centered around comedian Tony Hinchcliffe. During his set, Hinchcliffe made a joke referencing George Floyd, whose death in 2020 became a defining moment in American history and sparked worldwide protests. The joke referenced Floyd looking up and laughing so hard he can't breathe. The reaction online was immediate. Thousands of viewers condemned the joke as offensive and insensitive. Critics argued that making light of a real-life death, especially one connected to racial injustice, was fundamentally different from roasting a celebrity who voluntarily signed up for the event. Soon, the controversy expanded beyond social media. George Floyd's family publicly criticized the joke. Representatives connected to the Floyd family argued that the joke crossed a line and should never have been included in the special. But the George Floyd joke wasn't the only issue. Many viewers complained that several comedians relied heavily on racial humor throughout the night. Others criticized jokes involving lynching, race relations, and stereotypes. Some comedians and commentators argued that the material felt more focused on shock value than actual comedy. Then, another unexpected voice entered the debate. Comedian Chelsea Handler openly criticized some of the performers involved in the roast. She accused certain comedians of crossing lines with material she considered racist, sexist, and offensive. That criticism quickly created a public feud within the comedy world itself. Suddenly, the conversation was no longer just about one joke. It became a larger debate about comedy itself. What are the limits of a roast? Should every topic be fair game? Can comedians joke about tragedy? Or are there some subjects that should remain off limits? The internet split into two camps. One side argued that a roast is a roast. Participants understand what they're signing up for. The entire purpose is to push boundaries and make audiences uncomfortable. Supporters pointed out that celebrity roasts have always included offensive, shocking, and controversial jokes. The other side argued that there is a difference between roasting celebrities who consent to being mocked and making jokes about people who are not part of the event. For these critics, the George Floyd joke wasn't edgy comedy. It was simply unnecessary. Then came the moment everyone was waiting for. Kevin Hart finally broke his silence. And this is where the controversy became even bigger. During an appearance on The Breakfast Club, Hart addressed the backlash directly. At first, his comments appeared balanced. He admitted that the George Floyd joke was not tasteful. He acknowledged that many people found it offensive, and he said he personally would not have told that joke himself. But then, Hart defended the comedians involved. He argued that roast culture is built on pushing boundaries. According to Hart, viewers who watch roasts should understand that controversial material comes with the territory. He explained that while he wouldn't make those jokes personally, he understood why other comedians chose to do so. That statement immediately triggered another wave of criticism. Many people felt Hart was trying to have it both ways. Critics argued that he was acknowledging the joke was offensive while simultaneously defending it. Others believed he was minimizing the concerns of viewers who felt genuinely hurt by the material. Then, Hart made another comment that generated headlines. When discussing criticism that he should have intervened during the roast, Hart pushed back. His response was simple. What was he supposed to do? Drag the comedian off the stage? Hart argued that his responsibility was producing a successful roast, not policing every joke delivered by other performers. For supporters, that explanation made perfect sense. A roast is built around creative freedom. Stopping performers mid-show would fundamentally change the nature of the event. But for critics, the comments sounded dismissive. Instead of addressing why people were upset, they felt Hart was focused on defending the process. The backlash only intensified when Hart praised Tony Hinchcliffe's performance. In interviews, Hart suggested that Hinchcliffe delivered one of the strongest sets of the night. For many critics, that praise overshadowed Hart's earlier acknowledgement that the George Floyd joke had been inappropriate. Meanwhile, reactions from the comedy community remained divided.
Fam.
I said, damn it.
Each time you said it, now it's gone quiet.
Trying to achieve the success that you have already achieved.
You ain't that young.
Well, just
Stop
hold.
with everybody that's
Hold
a
on.
little bit older.
Well, let's just, wait a minute. Nobody.
Dude, Don, a legend, so dirty like that.
Some comedians defended the roast format and warned against limiting artistic expression. Others argued that being offensive isn't automatically the same thing as being funny. Even comedian Nikki Glazer suggested that controversial material still has to be clever and well executed, rather than relying purely on shock value. Online discussions became equally divided.
About it making an appearance at one of those games we talking about. Let's check it out.
Hey, Kanye!
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Kanye got pantyhose on his face. Kanye walked in there looking like a bank robber from the 80s. Put the money in the bag. Luther? You know they could always see who was robbing them in the pantyhose.
Say you jive ass. Put the money in the bag.
On Reddit and social media, some users argued that people were overreacting to a comedy roast. Others said the event felt mean-spirited, uncomfortable, and unnecessarily provocative. Weeks later, the debate still hasn't disappeared. And that's because this controversy touches something much bigger than Kevin Hart. It's really about where comedy is heading in 2026. Can comedians joke about absolutely anything? Should audiences simply accept offensive jokes as part of the art form? Or does comedy carry responsibility when dealing with real tragedies and real people? Those questions remain unanswered.
Big mustache, I looked like I was 48.
Yeah.
I was struggling. I was really struggling in high school. Yeah,
Tough.
That's me in high school.
Whoa.
But,
Whoa.
But yes. Yeah. Don't laugh like that. Don't.
Whoa.
That's okay. Well, there's my picture.
Whoa.
Well,
What just happened?
what do you don't?
What?
Don't
You
laugh
look
like that.
You look like a detective that's a DJ. Like, you
I'm trying.
What is clear is that Netflix got exactly what every entertainment company wants. Attention, millions of people who never planned to watch the roast suddenly started talking about it. News outlets covered it, podcasts debated it, social media exploded over it. And whether people loved the special or hated it, they couldn't stop discussing it. Which may explain why this roast became far bigger than a comedy event. It became a cultural argument, one that is still dividing audiences today.
My piece of advice for anybody that's short is that it's okay. There's nothing that comes with being tall outside of a conversation.
There's nothing that comes with being tall.
Nothing. There's nothing that comes with it. Tall people,
advantage at all.
Tall people are stupid.
So, what do you think? Did Netflix's roast of Kevin Hart simply do what roasts have always done? Or did some of the comedians go too far? Drop your opinion in the comments below, because this debate is far from over. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We've got more deep dives into celebrity controversies, entertainment scandals, and the stories everyone is talking about.
Just like Bill Cosby. And just like Bill Cosby, women can't tell when Kevin's inside of them.
That's right, the dog. Right, Snoop? Back in the day, the reason why he called himself the dog is because he was a dog with the ladies. It's true. Now he's called a dog because he sleeps all day in a sunspot in the living room floor. Isn't that true? I lock eyes with Mike. He's in the front row, and I start teasing him. I was like, man, what age do you get to where it's okay to wear your pants that high and nobody addresses it? I said, nobody. Y'all telling me I'm the only one to think Mike's is past the legal limit for waist? But it was like fun jokes. And I said,
oh no.
He had like the little square mustache at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? I said, it looks like a thumbprint. Like you just smell something. And like nobody's laughing. Like they got to a point where nobody's laughing, right?
Really?
I mean, no. He's looking like straight. He's actually giving me a look like you gonna keep on going, like you ain't gonna stop. So no man, I talk a lot of trash. That's why I go. I go there to sit courtside to mess with the players. That's literally all I go for. I pissed James Harden off, and I had a day off, so I decided to go to the Sixers game. James Harden is playing in the game, and the whole game, the whole first quarter, he's off. And I was like, you know why you off? Because you're in my city. Your beard stinks. I hate you. I was like, I hate your calves. I told him, I said, I think you got butt shots. I was saying a bunch of stuff to him, and he got mad. He said, remember all of this. He said, I'm about to cook you.
And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. The script is based on recent reporting about Netflix's The Roast of Kevin Hart, the backlash to Tony Hinchcliffe's George Floyd joke, criticism from comedians and viewers, and Kevin Hart's public response on The Breakfast Club.